Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of Conceptual Thinkers Talk Primary Math Concept with Teacher Ben. So for the past few videos, we are actually looking at more on paper 2 question. So for this video, we will be looking at P6 2022 MGS Prelim paper 1 question 29. So let's get started. So I will be using our Center 4I methodology to solve the question. So first, let's interpret the question. A bookshop had 600 pens to sell over 2 weeks. In the first week, the ratio of the number of pens sold to the number of pens unsold was 1:2. In the second week, the ratio of the number of pens sold to the number of pens unsold was 5:3. So how many pens did the bookshop sell in the second week? So after looking at those key phrases in the question, so now we have to think how to actually link the question to a concept. So how to identify the concept? We have to look at certain key phrases here. Now, if you see, they say that in the first week, the ratio of the number of pens sold to the number of pens unsold was 1:2. Now, this number of pens unsold here will be the quantity of pens that left for the second week. Okay, so this means that if you look at the second week ratio, the pens sold, if I add with the pen unsold, that the total of this should be equal to the number of pens unsold in the first week. So this means that the number of pens unsold in the first week and the total number of pens sold plus the number of pens unsold in the second week should be matching, and hence I can identify that the concept here is called repeated identity. Okay, so after we identify the concept here, then we will start to solve the question. Now I'm going to use two ways to actually solve it so that we can also use it as a way to do inspection later. So let's start to implement the first step or the first method. Okay, so now let me create the ratio. So if you look at the first week, now the ratio will be sold against unsold. So we're gonna have a total here. So sold will be 1, unsold will be 2, so total will be 3. So if you look at the second week, for sold against unsold, and the total here, so we're gonna have 5:3:8. So we just need to add up to get 8. Now the repeated identity here should be the total of the second week against the unsold in the first week. Okay, now you notice that the unsold here is 2 and the total here is 8. They are not the same, and they should be the same because they are the repeated identity, so they should be matching. So what you're going to do is you're going to make this 2 to become 8. So to do that, I need to multiply by 4 to here. So that will give me 4:8:12. Now once our repeated identity match, then we can compare the two ratio together. Okay, now there's only one number we haven't used it, which is the 600, and this is the number of pens to sell over the 2 weeks. So this means that it should match to the total of my first week. So this is what is the total quantity that the bookshop had. So 12 units will be equal to 600. Now 1 unit will be equal to 600 divided by 12. So I should be able to get 50. Now the question is asking for the number of pens sell in the second week, right? So this means that we're going to find our 5 units. So 5 units here will be 50 times 5. So I'm going to get 250 as the answer. Now I'm going to use another method, the second method. Then with that method, if I'm able to get to the same answer, so that is a way that I can use it to do my inspection or checking. So let's use another method. Now the ratio will be the same, so let me just write down the ratio. So first week So I'm going to use S to represent sold, US to represent unsold. We get 1:2. If you look at the second week, now then sold and unsold will be 5:3. Now we can straight away use this 600 and link it. So the total here is actually 3. So this means that 3 units will be equal to 600. So 1 unit will be equal to 600 divided by 3. So I'm going to get 200. Now we do know that our repeated identity here is the unsold here against the total here. So let's create a total. So this will be 8 repeated identity. So I'm going to find 2 units first. So that will give me 400. Okay, then here I will use part to represent. So this means that 8 parts should give me 400 because it's repeated identity, right? So 1 part, so I will take 400 divided by 8. So that will give me 50. So I'm going to find my question mark here, which is 5 parts. So this will give me 250. Now you do notice that the answer actually match to each other. Okay, so these are two different approaches to solve the question. Now I usually use the first method because what I'm trying to do here is to make my repeated identity equal in terms of units. So in model drawing, I'm actually trying to cut them into equal unit size before I do my calculation and comparison. Now for the second method, you actually treat them as a separate two different I would say unit size to do the question. So some students actually prefer to do this way because you do need to actually make the repeated identity equal, but you still need to identify which identities are actually matching so that you can actually link them together. So this is the way that we approach this question. Now, if you have other ways or methods to solve the question, feel free to leave your methods in the comments box below so that other viewers can actually learn from you too. Now, if you benefit from this content and enjoy this content, please give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will keep producing more beneficial videos for you to help you in your test and exam. So that's all for this episode. I will see you in the next video.